That was a split G2 buck. He broke off one of those splits. Early in the season, we had him on camera with the broken beam, and he looked really good. Split G2, that's a pretty cool deer. Hoping that maybe sticks around and makes another year. Hopefully we can get a crack at split G3 or broken beam here before the season's over. Heading in here somewhere. I don't know where, but this is kind of where I feel like he was at, and because the same thing was done last year in this spot right here. So I didn't know it. I didn't know that he did that. So, but the first one is definitely split G2. He showed up a couple days ago, and it was definitely him, and he's back in full force. He's probably going to be pushing that 170 mark, and so Caleb and I are super excited to head back after him. He's really on the south side of the farm, and he really inhabits the same area as split G3 did last year. Had a couple encounters with him on the hoof, and I'm super excited to see him back again. This fall definitely proves to be something exciting as we head into October 1st. So
literally right when I was done with the interview, I turned around to check the field, and just got some movement up the fence line here, about 70 yards away, and sure enough, it was split G2. So pretty neat to see him on the hoof. This is the area we've seen him on the trail cameras, just a touch out of position. But anyways, it was exciting to have an encounter with him and let the cat and mouse game begin.
Towers just came through, but I rattled at him and he came back twice, but I think he's just too young yet. He's going to be a stud next year with those giant brows. Super fun encounter. Had a couple 2.5-year-olds cruising through as well, so things are picking up a little bit, but let's have to see what happens here. Caleb and I took a break, went and got some Mexican, and came back out, checked some cameras. 12:30 G2 went through the funnel. We're gonna go sit back right where we were. Who knows, maybe something will come through and we'll get her done. So hang with us. Cat and mouse continuation here. G2, over and out. It's November 8th. Maddox and I are down here on the farm sitting in the same tree Caleb and I sat in the last 2 days. So a south wind here again. Still really warm, about 55 degrees here this morning, but man, we saw Twin Towers here yesterday. G2 has kind of just been in the area a lot. I really wanted to get Maddox a shot at one of these, and a time when Caleb and I couldn't get out together. So I got my bow in the tree as well. Maddox is hunting here today, but if G2 happens to walk along the creek where Maddox can't shoot, then I'll shoot him. But otherwise, we got lots of 20-yard shots for him and under, so I'm sure we'll see some more. So we're gonna hang tight in here and and just see if we can't get something big to walk through. So hang with us here, folks.
Dad, what is he waiting for? What is he waiting for?
He's looking at something. Can we shoot it?
Yeah, I can.
Well, it's getting close to 9 o'clock, and I think we just had our second sighting at G2. He was to the south of us here in the creek, and I heard a blow, and a doe took off, and a buck was chasing her, and a big buck was behind her, and I think it was G2 on her, and they took off across the field, and they went straight north to the big timber. So she didn't want to be bred yet, so maybe he'll leave her and come back through here like he did yesterday. So we'll see what happens, but good sighting, and deer are on their feet, that's for sure.
Mark.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You snapped the crap out of him.
Oh my gosh. Dude, we got it. What?
I told you it was a giant buck.
Maddox said, Dad, we heard something crack in the creek, and he goes, Dad, it's a giant buck. And I looked over and I go, oh my gosh, it's G2. It's G2.
I thought I was gonna shoot. I thought you were gonna call him in. Then you.
There was, oh man,
Can you go find him?
Oh my gosh.
Can you go find him?
He went in the creek, and
Can you go find him?
oh my goodness, oh man. So we sat up here, we came in here thinking that we could get Maddox a buck, and we were gonna try to get him one really close on the trail in front of us, and if we didn't get him, then I was gonna bring my bow up here and self-film. So that buck, he came in, and we heard a blow, and the doe took off, and he was chasing her across the CRP. And I told Maddox, I'm like, I think I even did an interview saying that he might come back through this area. And holy smoke, sure enough he did. And I was trying to self-film, so I set it down, I put the camera down in the creek. So I'm hoping that the footage is okay. But oh man,
Did you get him in the right spot?
I think I got him in the right spot, buddy. So
We can still wait a little longer.
yeah, we're gonna wait and see if we can get Maddox a buck here and go from there. So we'll hang tight. Well, we hung tight here a little bit longer. Maddox wants to go down, and he's really excited to blood trail a deer. So this will be super fun. Hopefully we find the buck right away, and I think we put a pretty good shot on it. We're gonna take everything down, and then we're gonna go get the truck, and then I'll pull back up here, and then what do you think, buddy?
Let's go.
a little bit trickier, so you have to stay off to the side. Okay. What? Right there? We got him! Oh my goodness, look at that Brutus. Well, November 8th, finally caught up to split G2. He's also got a split G3 on here as well, but Caleb took the morning off, told me to take Maddox out. We want to try to get him one of those 2.5-year-old bucks that we're cruising through. We saw a bunch the last few days. Needless to say, we ended up spotting split G2, and he was chasing a doe, and he ended up coming back through the creek bed. And the very one place that Maddox really couldn't shoot was back to the creek. What was really humbling for me was when Maddox was super excited for me, and knowing that he was out here to get a buck, and his dad ended up shooting one, and not what I came out here to do, but there was only one buck I was going to take, and I had one shot to do it, and that's exactly what happened. So needless to say, we got her done today, and we're going to work hard to get Caleb and Maddox a deer and see what we can't do. But super blessed, super pumped. But as always, thanks for following us along. Thanks for following Outreach Outdoors on Midwest Whitetail. Yeah. What else can you say, huh? Oh, nothing. We got her done, huh? All right, buddy. I think that's good.
Well, it's the morning of November 7th, and the sun's just getting ready to rise here. This is one of my favorite days to be in the tree. A year ago to the day, I shot a nice buck a few hundred yards to the west of where we're sitting in a really good funnel. I'd love to be back there this morning, but the wind's wrong. It's supposed to be 75 degrees today, so for that reason, we decided to come sit on the downwind side of this pond that's pretty close to a doe bedding area. We're hoping that as the day goes on and the temperatures heat up, that there'll be deer coming to get a drink. Pretty much every single deer we saw yesterday, both in the stand and also driving around, had its mouth open because it was so hot out. So we're hoping that we have something come to this pond, or else we can see something and call it in. We have a couple really steep, deep ditches that kind of end right here as well. So hopefully if we call something in, it's going to be forced to come just upwind of us and we can get a shot. Pretty excited to be out, even though it's supposed to be really hot today. Hoping this water helps us out this morning. Coming back. Well, that was exciting. That's a deer we call split G4 buck. We had an encounter with him last year on this date. He put on quite a bit of size, and I think if that deer can get to 5.5 next year, he's going to be an absolute monster. And so he came in absolutely perfectly. Walked by at about 15, 20 yards. So that's a great sign. He had his mouth wide open on the move. unfortunate. We just had one of our target bucks, 5.5-year-old, do what none of the other deer have done. He actually got behind us down in this ditch, and before we could really get the camera on him, he looked up or smelled us or something and took off. So tons of great movement this morning, but not what you want to have happen. The sun just set here on us, and we just had a doe come into the pond, and then we're gonna walk away. There's an outside chance that this year might end up like last year, but even if it doesn't, we had an awesome sit today, despite the fact that it was in the 70s as far as temperature goes. This morning was on fire. We saw a lot of good deer, including a really good 4.5-year-old that if he makes it to 5.5, he's gonna be an awesome, awesome deer. We had a buck that we wanted to shoot, kind of sneak in on us, behind us, and go down in a ditch and smelled us about 15 yards away. That was kind of a bummer. Saw him again later on in the day, picked us off in the tree. He knew we were here. But tons of deer movement, kind of slowed down midday, but picking back up here tonight. So we're going to sit tight, and hopefully the next 20 minutes or so is good. Otherwise, we'll be after it in the coming weeks.